What's up, guys? Dapano here. Thought I'd make you a quick video of how to make some really good GG gloves in League or in Standard um, for pretty cheap. And there's so many different alternatives to this glove. So these are the gloves that I made, and I was gonna go over how to make a double influence pair of gloves. If your build does not need two influences, you can use this method to make some really good Warlord only gloves. I'm gonna quickly alt tab into craftofexile.com, and when you load in Craft of Exile, you'll start on the calculator page. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click into emulator, and I'm gonna create a new item. We're gonna make gloves. Our gloves are gonna have dexterity, and they're gonna be grip gloves. And just go boom. Emulator. Our glove is gonna be dexterity, and it's gonna be grip gloves. Now here's the tricky part. Your gloves need to be anywhere between level 75 to 79. I'm going to put in level 75 gloves, proceed. And if you look in game, my gloves indeed are level 75. Now, there is a couple things that I wanted to go over, and it's kind of easier for me to show you on PoEDB. On PoEDB mods, I'll show you on gloves. This is another way to look at what we're looking at. Is the reason I'm choosing level 75 to 79 is to specifically block over these two mods. If my gloves are under level 80, I don't have to worry about melee strike range, which is two mods that I block from the pool. I don't need to worry about chance to block tier 2, tier 3, and as I'll show you in the video, I'll be able to block avoid being stunned. Now, unnerve or intimidate is level 85. So how can we get a level 85 mod on a level 75 item? Well, if you do awaken or orbit, it will transfer over, even if the item level is too low. So that's how I got my awaken unnerve on there. So what I did on my gloves in game is I awakened the two prefixes, plus one frenzy to intimidate for 4 seconds on hit. I'm gonna go do that in the emulator. So for frenzy, I think it's Warlord. Plus one frenzy. And then for hunter, it doesn't allow me to show you it on Craft of Exile, but as you can see, I have awakened it over. So I guess all intents and purposes, we're gonna put in impale, I guess, for the prefix, because I don't know how else to show it. Now we have a double influence gloves. We're gonna pretend that this impale does not say impale, and it says either intimidate or unnerve. And our last mod was life. Once you get your gloves to have your prefixes or whatever, and the life part you can do later, you're gonna awaken or frenzy to unnerve or intimidate, and then you're gonna hope that you have a removable third prefix. You're gonna get your gloves to look empty with your suffixes. That's your next goal. Okay. You're gonna come to your table. You're gonna craft a suffix craft from the bench. It's gonna be cannot roll. Double check here. We'll come over here. You're gonna do you're gonna have chance to avoid stuns. You're gonna craft on from your bench chance to avoid stuns. What is that gonna do? You're gonna block out all these rolls. You're gonna block out anything that's above level 79. So your gloves are between 75 and 79. You want to be able to roll these. You would only be able to roll this 500 weighting. You'd only be able to roll Culling Strike. You'd only be able to roll Tier 1 Dex. You wouldn't be able to roll the Tier 1 version of damage over time. A few rolls in each tier. And you'd be able to roll 2 tiers of mana gain on hit. So what I do here now is I would use Harvest. I would augment an influence mod, right? The first thing I augment is increased dexterity. Now, if you wanted to make a really nice dex stacking glove, you would first isolate tier 1 increased dexterity. On our first slam, we got tier 2, which is unfortunate. Because it's not tagged at all, we're going to need to remove it. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to either reforge keeping prefixes. You can do prefixes can't be changed scoured. A little bit more expensive option. So now we're back to normal. We're going to aug influence. Look at that. On our second shot, we got Culling Strike. If this said Intimidate, Frenzy, Culling Strike, that would be like literally the BIS gloves for me. Now, if you want to take it one step further, wanted to have increased dexterity and Culling Strike, you would need to hit the dexterity first. Or actually the Culling Strike first. I don't think it would matter. So now you slam it one more time. And look at that. Tier 1 increased dexterity. However, assuming it's a 12% chance to get it. So it's a 1 in 9. But let's say you didn't get it on the first try. Slam. Boom. Now you remove Fizz. You go to you pay someone to remove Fizz. Slam. And there you go. You get it again. Pay someone to remove Cold. Pay someone to remove Fizz. And there you go. You get it again. So I hope that you did learn something from this video. As I did say, you can apply this to many other crafts, and like you could do it to just a warlord melee base, and then you can deal with some of the prefixes like melee damage and stuff like that. So I hope you did learn something from this video, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.